All right, guys. We're back for another Dokkan Battle video, and I forgot to pull everything up ahead of time, so I'm going to pull it up while we're talking. So, we recently had the data download. And I'll just tell you guys, I actually had someone visiting me for the last couple of days, so that's why, like, the one LR Broly video, I was quiet. Like, if we, I wasn't, like, screaming as loud as I normally am. Like, if we, pull out, I'm sure the comments in there are like, oh my god, what's going on? But anyway, blah, 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 blah. So I haven't been able to fully do quite everything I've wanted to, but I've gotten most of the important videos done anyway. But I did just want to make this point here. So after we got the data download and I was kind of like studying it, I was watching Final Destination while kind of like while, again, studying the data download, studying, when units might come out, and blah, 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 blah. I'm pretty certain of this right here. So, stage 5 and 6 of the Pure Saiyan Red Zone are not in the data. So, if we click it, wabam, they're not there. We know what the stages are going to be. I do like that they do this, by the way. So, remember, back in the day, they would drop the Red Zone. Let's use the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone as an example. Like, it only opened with the Cooler and Frieza stages, so they're the only ones that were on the picture. And then, then they slowly added characters in and stuff like that. I feel like I do kind of just like now when we get the full image and then we know what to expect. I don't know. I think I kind of like that, right? Like, it's, I don't know, hard to say, but I prefer this. But we know for sure that the stages are Kale and Caulifla and Broly, and that they're coming on the 22nd, right? So that's in a couple of days, Monday. So we're going to have another data download before the 22nd at, what time do these stages drop? 4 a.m.? Yeah, these are 4 a.m. stages. So maybe on the 21st at 10 p.m. my time, we'll get the data download, and then the stages will drop later that night. Very well could be what's going to happen, right? Now, if we take a look at this, so there's another data download by Monday, which is, it is pretty crazy. So if we follow along with my logic here, so considering the 22nd is a Monday, I think that confirms that the next Dokkan Fest is in 2 weeks, not next week. If you guys go back, the entirety of this celebration, I've been telling y'all, well, even before then, I've been telling y'all the next Dokkan Fest is the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd of October. You could pull up any videos you want to, and you'll find me saying that. Boom, boom, boom. 1st, 2nd, 3rd of October, right, is the next Dokkan Fest. I actually saw a lot of people thinking that we were going to get a Dokkan Fest this week, and, I mean, I didn't want to go, never say never. I mean, Dokkan does like to switch things up, so I didn't think it was the case, but I also would not, like, rule it out. Like, I wouldn't say, it's impossible. Like, it could happen. But now, after this data download, I'm certain that that's not the case, right? Because Dokkan Fest exclusives, usually it's like, pretty much the last day of the month is usually what it is. So, no matter what, it's going to be next week, right? And then, like, they're not going to, dude, there's no way they're dropping a Dokkan Fest on, like, the 24th randomly. Like, there's no precedent for this besides Golden Week, which is specifically for a Japanese holiday, and New Year's, which I think is geared more towards Christmas, right? So, I mean, they just don't do that. So, and this would mean the Dokkan Fest would be in the data download on the 21st. So that would mean they would have to tweet out the next Dokkan Fest, like, within the next day or two. Point blank period, it's not happening, right? So, what that means is we have a full another week, the 22nd, like this right here, 21st to the 27th is still Tianabata. So, to me, that tells me we're going to end it with a major LR EZA is my prediction. I think that these boys is what we're going to see. Now, the reason I say them, right, is because this celebration right now is movie heroes and movie bosses. And in my opinion, they've mostly failed. This guy is a 10 out of 10. This guy's pretty much, I think, a 10 out of 10 as well. Broly is like, I don't know, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 6 out of 10. You can kind of, like, go gear in that sort of, like, direction. This Broly, like, he's solid. And then, like, the movie hero stuff, like, it's just, it's like they all we've got is just the Vegeta, basically, for the movie hero side. So they've barely really touched these teams very much in a major, meaningful way to make these teams good. Right now, these teams are just not very good. So I think both sides need shit. So I think this is the ideal drop right here, is these two. I've pulled up, I think, all possible possibilities, as long as it's movie hero, movie bosses, which I'm very confident it will be one of those two. But I've pulled up potentially all of the major possibilities here. All right, so let's go through this. Let's talk about this. Now, remember, the GDC ended in the exact same way, by the way, where the official kind of like end of the GDC was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Vegeta and Trunks. So I think something like that could happen. So like right now, a lot of people are predicting that the ROF Blues could EZA. I could see it. Easy. Boom. But it's not going to be just them. I think it would be them plus something else, right? Again, to kind of match what we did here, where it was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Vegeta and Trunks. And again, I know that this was, technically kind of like GDC EX part, but this character, truthfully, was the very next they were like the next celebration, right? It's like kind of like the air quotations. I don't have face cam on, but I'm literally doing the air quotations. Like, I'm doing it right now. I promise. Right now, my fingers are like, kind of like, what I'm doing? Yeah, you know what I'm doing. This was like the official end of the GDC, was these two. And that's what I think is going to happen with this Tanabata celebration. The official end would kind of just be like these boys, I think. Or something else we got here. So the RF Blues could be it. This potentially could help. They could make this Goku already does stack, by the way. So they could make this a character that could be pretty effective in Festival. I mean, to me, it feels like it would be tough for this character to be a real competitor in GDC, the way he's set up. They would have to really go crazy, like, 80% damage reduction for the first 3 turns or something like that, right, for Goku, and then, after that you swap to Vegeta. They could. They could make this character very dominant, though, because they could do what I just said, plus allow Goku to stack, attack and defense or something, and wha-bam, right? Now all of a sudden we got a Festival character here, which would be good. Because Super Int was one of the missions, right? Just create more and more and more and more characters for Festival, I think, is a good idea. I know there's a lot of whiny babies who go, oh my god, no, but people need help units for the event. That's just how it goes. So again, my pick is probably Goku and Cooler as of right now. I would say, I think that these two would make a ton of sense. By the way, the reason this guy is EZing soon. He has to. Because, well, when I say soon, I guess I mean in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Okay. So I guess by soon, I'm talking about the next 5 months. So my bad. But the Carnival LRs, AGL Goku and Int Kid Gohan from the 8th anniversary should EZA sometime in this 2-week time span right here. They should EZA then. They're both Carnival LRs. It's just an assumption of mine. I don't know. And now people are really starting to say, I've made a lot of predictions that are correct this year, but don't get me wrong, I do have wrong predictions all the time as well. But now I am starting to have people say, oh, so Amatsu told you that, right? Because, anyway. I'm telling y'all, I think that this is going to be the first Carnival LR to EZA. I think that this guy will EZA before the Goku and the Kid Gohan, but it's definitely possible that they could do what they've done with the previous 2 Worldwide Download Celebration Dual Dokkan Fest LRs, Super Vegito and Bootanks, and Goku and Frieza. They could EZA this guy in part 1 of the 11th anniversary. They could do that. They definitely could do that. Him and Cooler, part 1 of the 11th anniversary, I think would work very well. So they're gonna be my pick right now to EZA in this celebration. But part 1, 11th anniversary, this would make for good EZAs for part 1, right? People would be pumped about that. So that could work. This guy, I imagine these guys will both be very good. We'll see though. It's hard to predict exactly. This guy, I feel like they could kind of fix him a little bit. They could almost just fuck this, get this the hell out of here or something. After the character or another character's revival skill is active, that's all he needs, and he's helped out a lot. All right, so there's him and Cooler. There's also these two. If they really wanted to get ballsy, they could EZA all 4 at the same time. Could you imagine how crazy that would be? 4 Dokkan Fest LR level characters EZing at the same time. Have we ever seen that before? I don't think so. It'd be pretty nuts. It would be pretty freaking nuts. But it'd be pretty cool at the same time. This character, remember, this character can be fixed quite easily because their problem was their annoying transformation condition. That's just written right there in their passive. Again, that could be fixed like nothing. Dokkan could easily just change that to, after performing 3 super attacks, boom, done, fixed, right? This character is probably the worst Dokkan Fest LR ever. I think so. This one right here, probably. So I really root for characters that had it rough. So like Tech Super Trunks, I'm gonna be his biggest cheerleader. Like give him a busted EZA, right? You know, who's another character I guess infamously hate? I don't know. Trunks is the obvious. I guess in Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I hated him. He was already very clearly bad, and people were still going, "No, he's good." But guys, it's already over. He's bad. But like, I mean, yeah, him too. I guess I'd be rooting for in Super Saiyan 4 to get a good EZA. AGL Kale, Physical Turles, all of them, right? 2023 is rough, right? All right, so them, and then of course Metal Cooler. So I mean, you EZA these 4 next week. Phew, this could flip the celebration completely around. By the way, if they EZA these 4 and they're all good, this would change things drastically. How people feel about the celebration, right? I could see it. At 4 seems a little like much, but I mean, if they wanted to go crazy, they really could. The Gammas and these guys are here. Now, I'm thinking that these guys won't EZA. This is what everyone keeps pointing towards. But, I mean, it's on Twitter. The loud people on Twitter are the villain fans, the OG Dragon Ball fans. They're just the loudest, right? So, like, it seems like a lot of them hold Cooler in incredibly high regard. I mean, I was very favorable for him when he came out. You guys, go back. I loved Cooler when he dropped. He was crazy, right? But people got to understand, I mean, I don't want to say Dokkan doesn't give a fuck about Cooler, but, like, Dokkan, like, Amatsu, they're not sitting there planning this, like, oh, fuck, man, we got to make sure Cooler has a badass team when he EZAs. No. Cooler's job is to help whoever the new Dokkan Fest is. That's what the EZA job is to do. So, Cooler is not going to be the fucking driver of the car, very likely, when he EZAs. It's possible. I mean, some EZAs could be really crazy. You could always predict that the anniversary Dokkan Fest will be crazy. So like the, GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, they will be the drivers of the car, right? But like this guy, probably not. So, buckle in. But like people are hoping that the superhero characters EZA, I mean, honestly, I'll take it. Just buff these movie hero and movie bosses teams up nicely. That'll be good for these superhero characters. But my thinking here with these guys is, so if we look at what Dokkan has done over the last 2 years, let's go 2024 and 2025. Most of like the anniversary type shit, they've so I'm talking like fusions basically. They've dropped it all, right? Like there's not like, that's why, like, I think Namek is coming up. I think Saiyan Saga's coming up. Superhero's got to be coming up as well. Like it's time to go back to superhero now. So like I feel like Dokkan would be smarter off hanging on to these guys for 11th anniversary, and then like 11th anniversary part 2 is these guys, right? Everyone keeps talking about that Power of Wishes theory. Well, that would work with Orange Piccolo, by the way. All right, Power of Wishes. Where is it? Right here, Power of Wishes, bam. So we could. And then remember the Gammas. Gammas could these guys would be very hype as well. Gammas EZA this week could be a W. Then we have got a couple of characters. I think it's just 2. Yeah, we just got 2 characters right here. Goku and Piccolo and Tapian and Minosha. Kind of just like randoms, honestly. Like they would EZA, and I think most people would not give 2 shits, honestly. But yeah, these are not like super popular characters or anything. Kind of just like weird 2021 releases. I mean, this would be a fun character for Dokkan to redo, by the way. Because Goku and Piccolo as a tag character, all of a sudden they're on Namekian and Gifted Warriors and Goku Family and Pure Saiyan, and it would be sick, right? But like the way they are right now, I mean, they have no fucking teams. It's pretty hard to use. And I guess they do have the 220% on Tech Vegeto's team, though. Looking at it, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty brutal for Goku and Piccolo. So, I mean, we'd see. We thought this character was going to EZA in August of 2024, by the way. And here we are a year later. They still haven't, so. And then Tapian and Minosha, don't ask me, man. I don't know. They don't even have a team, really. I guess, Movie Hero. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, with their stored figures and sibling bond support on Movie Hero. We'll see. Last thing I've got pulled up. These are just some characters I think could super EZA. I'm not predicting it, but crazier things have happened. This guy is due up for his super EZA. Remember, this guy, I remember I was watching a Resident Evil 8 playthrough when this guy EZA'd. What was that, June of 2021? I think it was June of 2021 when this guy EZA'd, right? So, like, he's due up for his super EZA. And, I mean, this Frieza could be very interesting, super EZAing. And then these two, I mean, if they wanted to drop a hammer, they could super EZA these guys. These guys are in range, by the way. because these are 120% leaders. Well, it would be pre-EZA. They're the 120% leaders. And Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta got their Super EZAs. So I think any of these characters, the 10 120% leader characters, are in range to Super EZA. Well, Cooler is one of them as well, right? So, I think that we could see these guys. This would be pretty cool. Gogeta and Super Janemba right here. I kind of would like that, but, I mean, we'll see what would happen. So, let me know what you guys think. Who you guys think will be the big time drops EZAs here. I think it's going to be big, though. I don't think it's going to be like a whimper or something small. I think it's going to be like, you know, something big. EZA for this week. The Red Zone stages as well. We'll see. So, let me know what you guys think. I'll catch y'all next time.